things that we're doing that are really good, things that we can improve on. So once we start playing more games, get more live action, we'll talk more goalie specific stuff. Whereas today we're going to talk a little bit more about leadership. So 1 second, 14 now. Okay. Give it another minute. We're going to try to make this, you know, we talked a lot to you guys on Monday, what you guys liked and disliked about what we've been doing. And so far the feedback has been fantastic. We're glad that you guys have enjoyed it. As requested, we'll try to make our meetings a little bit shorter. I agree. I think 30 to 45 minutes will be ideal, and we'll have good attention from you guys. We don't want to overextend the time and get you guys bored. So we'll try to make these meetings a little quicker. At the same time, we'll try to make sure that we're getting you guys all the information we feel you need. So 15, I'm going to take attendance real quick. Give me 1 second. Jeff, do you can you pull up a screen for me so I don't have to, that shows all the kids that are in the chat, so I can just write down who's present?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now with that list.
I can't read it. Here, let me see if I can zoom in. I can zoom in. I got it. So we got Aiden. When I call your name, can you say present? Aiden.
Yeah, I'm here.
Anthony.
I'm here.
Kaylin.
I'm here.
Gavin.
Here.
James. Schoolthorpe. James,
Here.
how do you pronounce your last name?
Sculptor.
Okay. Right. Joe Coleman.
Here.
How you doing?
Good.
Jonathan Eisen.
Here.
We got Logan.
Yo.
How you doing, buddy? Nick Chapman. How you doing, Nick? Nick, you there, buddy?
Yeah.
How you doing, Nick?
Good.
Olivia?
I'm here.
How are you, Olivia?
Good.
Tanner, I know you're here, but just say it again. I know you're in the car.
I'm here.
Present.
Present. Weston.
Here.
Will.
Yeah.
Will.
Here.
Okay, cool. Is there anybody here that I didn't call? Any names I didn't call? All right. Well, we're going to get after it, guys. So we gave everybody a video to watch last week. Me and Tino and I are curious who watched it. So we're going to quickly go down the line. Aiden, did you get a chance to watch the video we sent you guys? Yes or no?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
No. Okay. Anthony, did you watch the video we sent you guys?
I copied the thing from the chat, but I didn't get to paste it on time because my mom had to do something right after the meeting on her computer. So I just searched it up on YouTube and I watched it.
You watched it, so yes. Cool. Okay. Kaylin, did you watch the video?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Gavin, did you watch the video?
No.
Okay. James Sculthorpe, did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Joe Coleman, did you watch the video?
No.
Jonathan E., did you watch the video?
No.
Okay. Logan, did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Nick Chapman, did you watch the video?
No.
Okay. Olivia. Olivia, did you watch the video? Olivia, can you hear me? You need to unmute yourself when you speak.
Yeah.
Did you watch the video?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. And Tanner, did you watch it?
No.
Okay. Weston?
No.
Okay. And Will, did you watch the video?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So let's see here. So
Steinhorst just joined the group too, Eric.
who did?
Steinhorst?
Jacob?
No.
Jacob did not watch the video. Okay, so let's see here. We got we have 14 goalies in chat. We had 5 goalies that watched the video. Okay, we had last week. We had 18 goalies here. Okay, guys. So we have 14 goalies here this week. We had 18 goalies here last week. Excuse me, we have 6 goalies who watched the video. So what did we talk about last week? What was the main focus to last week? What did we talk about? I'm going to ask Logan, what did we talk about last week?
Accountability,
Okay, and what about accountability?
what it means to you.
Okay, and what were some of the things that we discussed the importance of when it comes to accountability?
Being responsible, having good character, and stuff like that.
Okay, so do you think, guys? Okay, I'm gonna ask Tanner. Hey, you didn't watch the video. Olivia, you raised your hand. You have a question? Olivia, I saw that you raised your hand. Do you have a question, or was that an accident? Guys, when you speak, you got to unmute your mics. Okay, moving on. Tanner, so question to you. You didn't watch the video, okay? Is that holding yourself accountable?
No.
Okay. And honest answers are good, okay? Gavin, why didn't you watch the video?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. Jonathan, why didn't you watch the video? And by the way, guys, you're not in trouble. Okay, remember, I'm not here to yell at you. Nobody's in trouble, but we're learning and we're talking about this. So, Jonathan, why didn't you watch the video? Eisenbro.
I didn't even know there was a video, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fair. Okay, if you didn't know there was a video. Joe, why didn't you watch it?
I didn't know there was a video.
Okay. I figured we'd get a couple of those answers. Weston, what about you?
I didn't know there was a video.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure, guys, okay? Weren't some of you guys here last week? Let me see. So, guys, I know you guys said you didn't know there was a video, but we talked about it last week, right? We told you guys we were going to be sending you a video. We wanted you guys to watch it before today. Okay. Okay. If we didn't have that discussion, okay, if we just sent out an email and in the email we talked about the video, I would have a little bit more understanding. But because we had talked about this is what we mean by accountability. Okay. Now, again, you guys aren't in trouble for not watching the video, but for all the goalies who watch the video, you're going to get a prize tomorrow. Okay. Not every week we're going to tell you when there's prizes, when there's not prizes. Okay. Accountability and character. Remember, character is doing things when people are not looking. We're not always going to tell you when there's going to be prizes, when there's not going to be prizes. But this is exactly what we talk about when we talk about accountability. Okay. When we want to, if we want to better ourselves as goalies, as human beings, okay, it was a 5-minute video, was not a very long video. Okay. We had 7 days to watch it. Okay. And personally, I'm not a big excuse guy. Okay. So I can understand, again, if you weren't at the meeting last week, you didn't get a chance to watch the meeting last week, and somehow the email didn't get back to you, I can understand that. But for those of you who say we don't know about the video, but we're here and present at the meeting last week, that's an excuse and it's not acceptable. And we can't allow ourselves to make those excuses. That's where we hold ourselves accountable. Okay, that's what we talked about. We hold ourselves accountable. We say, you know what, coach, I didn't watch it. I screwed up. I made a mistake. I got to be better. And we leave it at that and we'll move on. So anyway, for those who watched the video, okay, I have Anthony. Anthony, so what did you learn about the video? Tell me a little bit about it.
Like how to warm yourself up, and like you always need to warm yourself up before a game. Otherwise, you might not you might do something wrong, and then cool yourself down after it.
And why do you think that's important?
Maybe so you don't maybe get injured, or so you when you're on the practice, you're giving it 100% the entire practice, instead of in the beginning, it's you're warming up for a couple minutes and then you get 100% after that.
Good. Kaylin, what did you take from the video that was most important to you?
I really liked the aspect of the cool down, how it's really important, because then you're able to restore your muscles afterward, after you just did a hard workout or whatever.
Yep. Very good. James, what did you think of the video? What did you take from the video?
To warm up and get your joints ready.
And how do you think that'll help you be a better goalie?
So you're loose.
And ready to go?
Yeah.
Good. Logan, I want you to tell me not only what you took from the video, but what kinds of activities can you do to prepare yourself before practice or to cool down after practice? What are some things, because you watched the video, what are some things that you can see yourself doing to warm up before the game and then to cool down after?
To warm up before the game, you could stretch maybe before the game and do some ball warm up to get your hand-eye coordination in, and to cool down, maybe stretch, like I said, to cool down and stuff like that. And
yeah. Now I'm going to challenge you here, okay? I'm going to challenge you here. What kind of stretching before? Do we want static stretching, or do we want dynamic movements?
Dynamic movements.
Why?
So we can, because that's what we do as goalies, we move and stuff like that, and so we can move side to side easier and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a key component though. Why is it important, Logan, to have dynamic warm-up before a practice? I'm looking for something specific here. Okay. What is it about dynamic warm-ups, moving, okay, that is really important before a game? Why is dynamic warm-up important? What will it do to the body? And how will that help us?
It gets your blood flowing, and it, it helps you and it gets you warm and stuff like that. So you don't,
Yep, it gets your heart rate up. Okay, so guys, when our heart rate goes, our blood flows. Okay, when the heart rate goes, the blood flows. When the blood flows, our body functions properly, not only physically but mentally. Okay, so if we just show up to the rink and we do static stretching, we're really not getting our body moving. We're not really getting the blood flowing. We're not really getting the car heated up, as I like to call it sometimes. Okay, so we really got to make sure when we do our pre-warm-ups, okay, that we're doing something active, that we're not just sitting on our butts, touching our toes, although that's important at times as well. Okay, we got to make sure we get our heart rates up. Okay, maybe we go for a 5-minute walk, a 5-minute jog. We do some jumping jacks. Okay, there's a lot of different kinds of activities we can do to get our heart rates up. Good. Olivia, what did you take from the video? What kinds of things did you learn from it?
I learned how to warm yourself up before like a practice, because then you can give like 100% when you go to the practice, and cool yourself down.
Good. Will, I'll ask you a specific question. What did you learn about the cool down?
About the cool down, I learned that it's often good to stretch after you do your hard workout at the cool down, because your muscles are the warmest then, and then they'll grow and they'll be able to stretch more than you would if, let's say, you did it before practice.
Very good. So I will say one thing real quick, guys. So when I was a professional, well, when I played college and professional, okay, when I was done with practice, if I felt like my legs were very heavy, okay, which happens to, I'm sure, all of you, sometimes we work really hard on the ice, and then it starts to feel like our pads are really heavy, right? We get tired, our legs get tired. We build up something called lactic acid in our legs, okay, and our bodies, which in essence will make our legs tight, our muscles tight. And, we also get a little bit dehydrated. So one thing that I did when I was an athlete was not only did I make sure to drink a lot of water after practice, but I'd go jump on the bike for maybe 10 minutes. Now, I'm sure a lot of you would say, oh, right, that's a workout, right? A lot of us, if we went and rode a bike for 10 minutes, stationary bike, that's hard work, right? We would sweat. Well, we can't, in order to get the lactic acid out of our bodies, out of our legs, okay, when we work hard and our legs feel tight and heavy, it's better to be a little more active after a practice rather than just sit down on our butts, okay? If we just sit down and we don't get that lactic acid out of our legs, we don't cool down, our bodies are not going to recover the way we want them to, okay? So that next morning when we wake up, we're going to feel really achy, really pain, a lot of pains, tightness in our hips, okay? Whereas if we just give ourselves a 5-10 minute cool down, and maybe that's a little run around the rink, whatever it may be, okay, we're going to recover a lot faster and our bodies are going to feel a lot better. So again, it doesn't have to be crazy, guys, but maybe we do a 10-minute warm up, okay, a little 10-15-minute warm up before we go to the rink. Maybe we go into the garage, we shoot some pucks, or we do some jumping jacks, we jump rope, we ride a bike. We go on maybe even go on the pond for a little bit, and you're playing with your friends, whatever it is. We got to get our bodies moving before we get on the ice. Okay. So the reason that's important is because when we have our time on the ice, typically we have 1 hour. Okay. We don't have 2 hours. We don't have 3 hours. We have 1 hour on the ice. In order to utilize that time, we need to, in order to gain confidence, we need to feel good for the whole hour. Okay, we can't show up, go on the ice, and the first 30 minutes don't go our way because we're not ready to go. Okay, in order for us to gain confidence and to really improve and develop our skills as goalies, we need to develop for that whole hour. We need to be out there. We need to take pride in our work, and we need to develop. Tino, do you have anything that you want to talk about there, or do you want to add to that before we move on?
One thing I would say too, guys, is the older you get, the harder it is. Like, it's not easy to warm your bodies up. For like some kids, you can just hop up off the couch and jump on the ice and You won't pull nothing. You'll feel good. But the older you get, it's a lot harder. Story that I always like to hear, my dad would tell me, was Mike Richter. He was a goalie for the New York Rangers. He would ride the stationary bike for 1 hour before practice. So if you can imagine that, like that's how long it took him to warm his body up before he would skate, was an hour. A couple weeks ago when I was skating, we would do a lot of ladder work, and then I would do hand-eye. I would stretch for like 20 minutes. When I got off the ice, I would stretch again for like 15, 20 minutes, and then we'd have to do a workout. So it's a lot. I was on the ice the other day with a kid, and I won't say his name, but he was telling me that his hips were hurting, and I was like, how old are you? And he was like, I'm 11 or 12. I'm like, you shouldn't have hip pain when you're 11 or 12 years old. If you're just jumping on the ice cold, that's when you might hurt yourself. So it's very, very important that you guys take this serious and that you warm up your bodies before you get on the ice.
And to add to that, guys, I know a lot of us, we live in a generation where video games are really huge, okay? And I know a lot of you play them, and that's okay. But when you sit down in a chair, that's not good for your hips, okay? So if we're sitting down in a chair for 6 hours a day playing video games, that's not good for our hips, okay? We're shortening our hips. Okay, I know that's kind of, it's a little more complicated to talk about that, but we're shortening our hips. We're not standing up. We're not moving. We're not lengthening. We're not strengthening. It's when we're sitting down like that for 6 hours, it's no good for us. So again, Tino's right. You shouldn't have pain at 12 years old, guys. Okay, no chance. You guys got to make sure you're warming up. For me personally, when I played with the Penguins and every team after that and before that, really, it took me about 45 minutes to warm up. So I was always at the rink an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now, again, I know we can't do that right now, but I was always at the rink an hour and a half to 2 hours before my practices, and I gave myself some time to get comfortable at the rink. And then I had a 45-minute warm up. It included the ladder, riding bikes, hand, dynamic warm up, and then a little bit of stationary stretching before I got out there. And guess what? Sometimes I still didn't feel great going out on the ice. So that just shows you guys the older we get, the more important it is. So anyway, I'm going to ask you guys who did not watch that video. Okay, I have all of your names on paper right now. If you did not watch that video, I'm going to ask you guys, we'll send the link again. Please watch the video this week, and we will come back to the goalies who did not watch it next week and ask if they finally watched it. We are going to move on now, guys. Okay, we're going to try to get this done here in about 20 minutes. We're going to go through this fairly quick, so we're going to need everybody to make sure we pay attention. Okay, Jeff's showing you the video, by the way. So if you guys aren't familiar with what video it is, you can see the guy right there. It's got that blue highlight at the bottom of the screen. Okay, we'll send that link, but that's going to be the video. You can't miss it. It's 5 minutes long. It's not going to take you very long. So we'll make sure you guys get that done. And again, hold yourselves accountable to do that. We can't force you guys to do that. Hold yourselves accountable. We ask that you guys do that. So anyway, moving on. Today and for the rest of the day, we're going to talk a little bit about culture and leadership. Okay? We're going to talk about why we think having great leaderships on team promote great culture. So we're going to start with Aiden, how you doing?
Doing good.
Everybody's gonna give me one answer. Okay, so Aiden, give me one answer that describes a leadership characteristic to you.
I feel like people who are leaders, they do stuff that they're not told to do, and they make people say a teammate's feeling down, they make them feel better.
Okay, so in a way, empathy. We'll say empathy. Yeah. Empathy. So empathy for teammates, understanding. Okay, cool. Anthony, give me a quality of a leader.
They hold themselves accountable for stuff that they need to do.
Perfect answer. Kaylin, give me a leadership quality.
A person who is willing to fight for their team and be able to take chances for the team.
So we'll say sacrifice. How does that sound? Sacrifice for the team. Does that sound good to you? Sacrifice? You make sacrifices for the team? Maybe do things that you don't want to do? Okay, cool. Gavin, give me a leadership quality.
Lead by example.
By example. Perfect. Good answer. James.
You have courage to do the right thing.
Great answer, man. It's awesome. Great courage. I love that. Joe Coleman. Give me a leadership quality. Responsible. Wow, you guys, these are great answers right now. Awesome. Jonathan. Jonathan E.
They have confidence.
Confidence. Love it. All different answers so far. This is awesome. Logan.
Gavin kind of took my answer, but let me think. Being kind, I guess. I don't really know what else. Being kind, maybe.
So kind
Being
and
kind to your
empathy
teammates.
I would say kind and empathy are kind of similar, but you know what? We'll accept the answer. So kind and empathy, okay? You gotta be willing to understand different perspectives, understand how your teammates are feeling without having those same feelings necessarily. So good. Nick Chapman, give me a leadership quality.
Having confidence in themselves and others.
Okay. Olivia.
To be responsible for yourself and to make people's day.
Make people's day better?
Yeah, and to be responsible for your action.
Responsible for your actions. Okay, we got that as well. Tanner, what do you got?
Be supportive.
Great answer.
Can I redo my answer?
Logan?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I go with humility?
Oh, awesome answer, buddy. Absolutely.
Like
humility. Very good. Great answer. Weston.
Hyping people up.
Hyping people up. Giving people confidence. Okay, we'll say hyping up. Okay, even though hyping and confidence are probably similar. Okay, different word of choice. I love it. Will, what do you got?
Being able to take anything that's thrown at them and make it something good.
So positivity, can we say positivity?
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, you guys. Jacob S., what do you got?
Putting your priorities first.
Priorities, responsibility. Oh, that's so awesome. So these are the lists of words that I wrote down, okay, before the session, okay? And a lot of you touched them, okay? We have empathy, okay? Encouragement, okay? Courage, responsibility, supportive, okay? Now, these are some other words that I had, okay? Communication. Okay, nobody said communication. Okay, in a great team, whether it's sports, whether it's your teachers at school, making sure you guys are knowing what your homework assignments are, knowing what's expected of you. Maybe it's your parents at home. Okay, your parents are great leaders by setting the law, setting rules at your house, and then you following those rules. Or maybe you guys have chores. Okay, so communication. Okay, knowing what you have to do, what you have to accomplish. At the same time, being able to communicate with your teammates properly and staying positive is really important. Also, some more words I had. Humble. Got to be humble. Okay. Humility. Logan, that was a great word. Okay. Humility, humble. I saw encouraging. Okay. Encouraging. Another couple words I had passion. Okay, leaders, you don't always have to be vocal leaders, but there has to be a passion there. Okay, if you're going to be a great leader, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, and you have to believe what you're doing. I also have inspiration. Okay, I think a great quality of a leader is having high standards, setting the bar high, being inspirational to their teammates. Okay, and another word that I have that nobody used that I think is really important is respect. Okay, respect goes a long way. You have to be respectful whether you're the captain on your team or you're not. Okay, if there's not respect going both ways, and remember, respect isn't just given. You have to earn your respect. How do you earn respect? Will, how do you earn respect from your teammates?
By, let's say, making a good save or like doing stuff that will help your team. They will respect you as what your position is.
Okay. Jonathan, how do you respect your teammates?
By being kind and telling them good job, like when they score.
Okay. Aiden, how would you be respectful with your teammates?
Like, be kind.
Let me put you in a scenario. One of your teammates make a big mistake on the ice. Okay, your defenseman makes a big mistake. Okay, they come down 2-on-1 and they score on you. You're really upset. How can you be respectful to your teammate? Relay information to them.
Maybe tell them to do something different in that situation, like teach them something.
Well, how about encouragement, right?
Yeah.
You may make a mistake, instead of saying, hey, what the heck, man? What was that all about? We say, hey, don't worry about it. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, we're gonna work through it. I'm gonna try to do better for you. Next time you'll try to do better for me. We're gonna move on and get better together, right? Having good respect for your teammates on and off the ice is really important. At a young age, guys, a lot of times, you guys can get mad at one another. It's easy to get upset, okay? You guys have to make sure you respect one another, respect your teammates. And how we're going to kind of segue into this next segment is that's really what helps create a really good culture. Okay. Now we're going to talk about culture a little bit. Okay. Who can explain what culture is? Okay. Why don't we go, Logan? Explain to me what culture means. What does great culture mean to you?
Culture means having your own beliefs and stuff. Culture.
We'll come back to you. Think about it. Aiden, what does a great culture mean to you? What is a great culture?
Honestly, I don't really know.
That's fine. It's all right. Why don't we go, Anthony? What's a good culture mean to you? What does culture mean?
Maybe having a good I don't know what you call it, but you're really close with your team, and I don't know how to word it.
That's all right. Keep trying. You're on the right track. Great culture. What's great culture in a hockey community? Nick, we're going to call on Nick. He's got his hand raised. Nick Chapman, what's great culture mean to you?
It's kind of like a family, and we all kind of believe in the same thing.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Great answer, Nick. Family. Okay, family was one of my now again, that doesn't mean it has to be a related family, right? But a great culture is a family unity. Okay, it's support. It's a support system, right? Great culture. In a great culture, okay, you have great support from all your teammates. Okay, and when you have great support from all of your teammates, that's what great culture is all about. That means when you make a mistake on the ice, you're not going to get yelled at by your team. You're going to have support behind you. That's what great culture is. Now, there's more to that. There's more to it. Tanner, what's great culture? Give me some great characteristic. Give me some characteristics of culture, of a great culture. What are some characteristics of culture?
Maybe like a good vibe in the locker room.
So unity?
Yeah, that.
Unity, great. Logan, coming back to Logan. I see your hands raised.
Being positive to your
Very
teammates.
good. Easy. Just like a leader, right? Good culture is similar to leadership, right? If you have great leaders, if everybody on the team is a leader in some way, shape, or form, okay? Now, not every leader is going to be loud. Okay, not every energy is going to have a ton of energy. Not every leader is going to have the same personality. Matter of fact, I would say no person in the world has the exact same personality as anybody, right? Everybody's personalities are different, but how can we contribute as leaders to have great culture and provide great experiences, not only for yourself and your team, but everybody that surrounds that? So positivity, unity, family, great answers. Olivia, I'm coming back to you. What do you got for me? Name another great characteristic that you could see in a great culture.
Just like supporting each other and having good vibes.
Okay, unity support system. Okay, having a good support system. Okay. Let's get some more. Let's see. What do we got? We got, let's call on Kaylin. Name another characteristic. And guys, there's no right or wrong answers here, okay? We're all getting smarter together here, okay? So, Kaylin, give me another characteristic that you would see in a great culture.
It'd have to probably be teamwork or like chemistry.
Oh, great answer. Great answer. Why don't we just say leadership? Great chemistry and leadership, ultimately, right? Leadership. Did somebody raise their hand? Was that Jacob or was it Jacob? Who just raised their hand, guys? I missed it. Was it Jonathan?
I raised my hand and you want everyone to succeed.
Okay, you want everybody to succeed? Okay. Trying to think of a way to put that. Succeed. We want, how about this? Common values. We want common values within a great culture. What does that mean? What does what does having common values mean? Tino, I'm going to ask you this, Tino. Put Tino on the spot here for a second. Tino, what does that mean when I say common values? How does common values within leadership create a good culture?
I think it means having everybody on the same page and having an understanding of the whole team's goal of what they're trying to accomplish.
And maybe that means, common values. Maybe that also, to add to that, right? We all have a certain goal, right? Let's say we're all playing for the Stanley Cup. Okay, we all want to win the Stanley Cup. Everyone wants to win the Stanley Cup. Now, that's our common value. Okay, now, not everybody's going to have the same role on the team to reach that common goal. Okay, everybody's role is different. Okay, maybe we got some fourth line guys who know they have to work their hardest, and then we got some first line guys who know they have to score some goals, right? So just having common values and understanding your role within the team and having that leadership and being a leader and knowing that role is important. So that's really good. Jacob S. Was that you who just answered?
No, that was James.
Hey, Jacob, give me another characteristic to having a great culture.
Maybe like team bonding almost.
Great. Yeah. Maybe some like team bonding activities, maybe even, right?
Yeah, to get to know each other, and then to someone's point, knowing each other really well.
Great. And so I wrote down two more that nobody touched on yet. we kind of touched on it when it came to leadership. So remember, guys, having great leadership will contribute to having great culture, right? So how about inspiration? Is that a good one? Let's go to Tanner. I don't know if, let's go to Weston. Weston, what would I mean by inspiration? Why is inspiration part of a great culture? Why would being inspirational contribute to having great culture within a hockey team? I see Olivia's got her hand raised, but I want Weston to answer this one real quick.
It makes other people want to work harder.
Yes. And what happens when other people work hard?
Your team becomes better.
And you got a great support system. And people make mistakes, but you have a great support system. And you have inspiration. What happens? Olivia, what happens there? When you have great inspiration on the team, you have hardworking people, and everyone on your team's leaders, what happens then? What happens to that team?
They all come together as a team.
Create unity, right?
And I was gonna say if inspiring works.
Yes, it does. And I'm glad you said that. There's one answer I'm looking for. Okay. Great culture. It's something that we haven't talked yet, even on the leadership side of it. The word is called identity. Okay. Great culture has great identity. Okay. Tino, do you want to touch on what I might mean by that?
I think having good identity is, trying to think of the word that I want to use. Kind of like the characteristic part, like how people perceive you. Like if you're a rough team, if you're a skilled team. I can't think of the word that I'm trying to use for it though.
No, guys, identity is really important, okay? And that goes hand in hand with being a good leader, because when you're a good leader and you know your identity, you know your role, you know what you have to do. Okay, we have a lot of, first off, I will say this, we have a lot of really good goalies, right, in Blaine. Awesome goalies. But all of you guys are different, okay? None of you guys have the same personality, okay? There's a lot of goalies that are talkative and high energy, okay? There's a lot of goalies who are quiet, okay? But ultimately, all of you have the ability to be great leaders and provide great quality cultures for your team. Now, not everybody's always going to be great leaders, okay? You're going to come across a lot of players in your careers that just don't have those qualities, and it is what it is. But what you got to do, okay, is you got to help those players out. Now, I'm going to share one quick story with you. We had a player when I was at Quinnipiac University going into my junior year, okay? We had a player transfer from Bowling Green University. This player was very selfish. He only cared about himself, and he didn't care what others thought about him. Okay, now in a way that could be a good thing, but when you're very selfish, self-centered, you're not contributing to the culture and you're not being a leader, okay, that can really screw up a team. Okay, one missing link in a chain breaks the link, right? So we have to be very conscious, okay, as individuals, how we're being leaders and what we're doing on our teams. And then what do we do when we come across somebody who doesn't buy into our unity, that doesn't buy into our common values, and don't buy into our team identity? So did we give up on this guy? No, we did not. We continued to be the best leaders we could. We never gave up on him, okay? And what ended up happening was he had a redshirt a year, because when you transfer in college, you're not allowed to play for a year. So he had a redshirt a year. Our team had, in my opinion, the best identity in college hockey that year. That's why we played in the Frozen Four. We ended up playing in the national championship game, okay? We beat St. Cloud State, the Huskies. Everybody knows St. Cloud. We beat the Huskies in the Frozen Four to go to the national championship game that year. So how did we get this guy? Okay, what kinds of things did we do to get this guy on board with us? Well, first off, we did not give up on him. Okay, we already had a really good culture at Quinnipiac. Okay, and our job was to make sure that this broken chain got fixed before it was too late. Okay, so we never gave up on him. We were humble about it, and we stuck after it. And guess what? Over time, he had no choice but to buy into what we were doing. And then when he bought in, he realized this was awesome. This was a great culture. And looking back, I'm still good buddies with him. He tells me to this day that if it wasn't for the culture we had at Quinnipiac, he might never have changed as an individual. Okay, so this just goes to show you guys, okay, great leaders, okay, great leaders surround themselves with great leaders. Okay, so when you do things right all the time, okay, people will will come to you, will flock to you. Positive energy, okay, is contagious. Who wants to be around negative people all day? Let me ask you, Logan, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be around somebody who's negative all day long, or would you rather be around somebody who's positive?
Positive.
Why?
Because it would make me do better, because when someone's negative to me, it makes me go down on myself and makes me do worse. But when someone's positive, it makes me do a lot better.
Right. Very good. Olivia. Olivia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you have your hand raised just a second ago or no? I thought I saw that you had your hand raised.
Oh, that was somebody else.
Hey, who had their hand raised, guys? I just want you guys to be
That
able
was
to.
me. I forgot what college you went to.
Oh, Quinnipiac, yeah. So anyway, guys, again, what we're talking about is how can we be inspiring to other people by being great leaders? Okay, that doesn't mean leadership comes in all different forms, shapes, and sizes. Okay, but if we're able to look at all of these words we have here: empathy, accountable, sacrifice, courage. Okay, it takes courage to tell somebody, hey, we need more out of you. We need you to buy into our culture. That takes courage. You got to be confident to do those things. It's not easy. Okay, it's not easy to get everybody on board. And then you also have to be supportive. I'm looking at all of these answers. Okay, communication, encouraging, respect, effort, passion, attitude. You need a great attitude, empathy. And now I'm gonna start naming off our answers for culture: common values, unity, tradition, support, community, family. Somebody said family. Great answer, because at the end of the day, guys, if you have a great team, it's like a family. Everybody knows that. At the end of the year, everybody's sad. Nobody wants the season to end. Why? Because we had fun. We worked hard together. We did things together. Okay, now, if your season ends and you don't have those feelings, you probably didn't have a very good culture, because culture, having great culture, having great people around you is contagious, and we want more of it as human beings. And if we don't, we have to look in the mirror and we have to figure out, well, what's going on, right? So what I challenge you guys to do, okay, and I know a lot of you are young, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, we got 12-year-olds in here. Okay, we also got 15 and 16-year-olds in here, okay? What I encourage all of you guys to do, as the season starts back up here, okay, we're gonna start playing games. You might have some teammates that haven't skated for a month, who haven't skated for a month and a half. They may be a little bit rusty. Okay, things might not be perfect to start the season. That's fine, okay? We use our leadership skills that we're learning. We use what we can do to help provide a great culture, okay? And we try to bring our team together, because ultimately, guys, if we want to be successful as goalies, we need to help have great culture, and we need to provide great leadership, and people need to be able to look up to you guys, okay? Now, I will say, as goalies, okay, a lot of the times, especially when you move up the ranks, Okay, a lot of coaches don't like their goalies to be loud and talky. Now, I was loud and talky. That's who I am. That's my personality. But you don't have to be that way. Okay, I would suggest the best way for goalies, okay, to be great leaders is lead by example. Okay, lead by example. Be one of the first on the ice. Be one of the last on the ice. Be ready to go when you get on the ice, which means what? Which means we have to prepare. Okay, goalies need to be more prepared than anybody. We're the last line of defense. At the same time, there's only 2 of us. So we also have to make sure that we don't get injured and that we're taking care of ourselves, okay? Because that is part of being a leader. All of these things, guys, okay, are part of being a leader and being the best you can be to help provide a great culture for your team. And then when we do these things, okay, when we do all of these things, what, as a team, do we have a good chance of doing day in and day out? Shout out the answer. I don't care. Everybody. If we do all of these things, we prepare. We are great leaders by example. If we're encouraging, if we're responsible, and we're confident, and at the same time we take care of our bodies as a team, what do we have a better chance of doing? Shout it out.
Games.
Winning games.
Winning games. Okay? Who doesn't like to win? Everybody wants to win. That's why we're goalies, because we like to stop the puck, because we like to help our team win games. Okay? So this is pretty much going to, Tino, do you have anything you want to talk about or anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you said everything perfect. Leadership looks different for everybody, but for a lot of you guys, you're the only goalies on the team right now. But as you get older, you're gonna have to battle for a starting job. You want to be that goalie that your team wants to play in front of because they can trust you back there. They have confidence in you back there. They know that you're going to give it 110% every time you're on the ice. And another thing too is Eric and said it already, but as you get older, like goalies are the first ones on the ice. We have to get our goalie work in before practice starts, and then we're the last ones off the ice because guys want to play 3-puck, teammates want to play rebound. All these things help tie into being a good leader and having good character. So I think you said it perfect.
Cool. So guys, I know we always end up going a little bit longer than we say we're going to, so I apologize for that. I hope we're having fun. We're gonna end. We're not gonna go much longer. We're gonna end the day. I know Tino's got a story that he's gonna share about just leadership and culture in general. And then we're pretty much just gonna wrap it up with that story, guys. I'm gonna let you guys think about it. And then I still encourage you guys to watch that video, which I will make sure to mention before we're done. But Tino, do you want to share that story?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, my dad was my baseball and hockey coach all the way till I got to high school. And especially I remember these days in the summertime when I was playing baseball is that we were the first ones at the field and we were always the last ones to leave. The baseball field was like 2 blocks from our house. And my dad was the coach, obviously. So say practice got over and somebody was waiting for a ride and my dad would ask them, hey, you got a ride coming? And they'd be like, yeah. No matter how long it took, my dad would sit there and wait until their parents came and picked them up, whether it was 10 minutes, a half hour, I'm sure it was even an hour sometimes. And my dad would make me sit there and wait with him until that player got picked up. Even though we lived 2 blocks from the baseball field, he would never let me walk home by myself. And I never understood it. I was a kid, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just wanted to get home. Practice was over. It was a long day in the sun. And I didn't realize it until I started coaching my AAA team, what my dad was doing there, being a leader. So when I started coaching my own AAA team, there was a kid after practice waiting for a ride. I would sit there and I would wait for him, wait for his parents to get there. And it was a safety thing. It was making sure everybody was on the same page. Even though all the other teammates left, it was my responsibility to make sure that that person got picked up safe. And another thing, Eric's dad, Kevin, helped me coach for a year on my AAA team before I even met Eric. and I never knew who Kevin was. I remember I walked into the rink and I seen Kevin. I was like, is this really Kevin Hartzell that coached in the USHL? You know, he coached a lot of NHL players, a lot of Division I players. And his dad taught me a lot about leadership. When we would be on the ice together, he wouldn't even explain the drills. He would bring a kid over, explain the drill to the kid. Then the kid had to explain the whole drill to the team. If everybody got it, we would run the drill. If somebody messed it up, he'd blow the whistle. Everybody came back in. So just making sure everybody's on the same page. And as goalies, it's our responsibility to, you know, be that person in the net that your players can count on, that want to play in front of you, that want to get the W for you, that want to block the shot. So,
and to add to that, Tino, guys, that doesn't mean that we have to be perfect. Okay, that's not exactly even what Tino means. He doesn't mean your players rely on you because you're going to stop everything. Okay, we're not going to stop everything. Never. Goalies are the most imperfect human beings when it comes to our sports. Okay, we fail we fail very often, guys. Okay, we let in pucks very often. It happens all the time. Okay, but can your teammates rely on you to be prepared? Can your teammates rely on you to be accountable? Can your teammates rely on you to, after a game, after a practice, make sure that you cool down so you can recover and then be prepared for them the next night? Do you have the courage when the going gets tough? Okay, and I don't know if you guys know what that means. If you've ever heard when the tough get, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Okay, when the game starts to get heated up, can we breathe? Can we stay focused? Can we stay calm? Okay, and a lot of that again is being prepared. Okay, at the same time, are we positive? Okay, are we helping be inspirational to our teammates? Are we doing the little things that people can look at us and say, wow, you know, I want to be a lot like Tanner, or I want to be a lot like Kaylin or Logan or anybody, Jacob, John, Joe. Okay, we want our teammates to look at us and say, wow, what an awesome, I wish I could be more like that. Okay, now if we can get that attitude, okay, whether we stop every puck or not, and we won't, okay, people are going to want to play for us. And we have players and teammates that want to play for us and play hard for us and block shots for us. We're going to have a lot of success, and we're going to have great cultures. So, with that being said, guys, that's it for the day, okay? Now, what I will say, again, we had, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, 14 goalies here. We had 14 goalies here today.
I think we landed on 12, actually.
Okay.
There's a couple duplicates early on.
Okay. So we had 12 goalies here today, and we had 5 of them that watched the video. Okay. That's less than half. Now, I would say, in all honesty, that's not holding ourselves accountable, guys. Okay. So as we learn these processes, we're going to give you another chance to watch the video. So next week, okay, every goalie, I'm going to keep these lists, okay? Every goalie that I have did not watch the video, I expect you guys to watch it. Now, again, we're not going to force you guys to do it, but we know by you watching it, you're going to only better yourselves, okay? So hold yourselves accountable. Watch these videos, okay? And next week, we will come back and ask you guys if you watched them for the goalies that did not. For the goalies who did watch them, you will receive a prize tomorrow at the clinic if you show up. Okay, if you show up. If you do not show up, of course, we can't give you a prize. And then for the goalies who got their bed making sheets, you will get a prize for that as well. And that includes the goalies from last week. That includes the goalies who sent me those for this week as well. So that being said, guys, that's all we got for the day. I'm glad you guys were able to show up for the ones that did. I hope you guys learned a little bit. We will kind of come back and touch on this again next week. But that being said, you guys are good to go for the day. Thank you for showing up. Tino, thank you for your time. Jeff, thank you. And we will talk to you guys soon, and tell your parents to be aware of these emails. Okay, guys, if you're not getting these emails, we're sending them. Okay, we are sending the emails with homework assignments, with the video links. There's no excuses, guys. Okay, one thing, being a great leader, no excuses. Hold yourself accountable. If you make a mistake, that's fine. That happens. But we don't have it, or I didn't look at it. I didn't know I had it. No, those are excuses. We don't let ourselves off the hook that easy. Okay, you guys will have the link. Make sure you watch the video, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much for coming, guys. Hope you had fun.
See you guys.
Guys.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.